Thanks for joining me today. Good to meet you. I'm here to ask you a few questions about being a physical therapist. I'm kind of thinking about doing that myself, so I wanted to talk to an actual physical therapist and see what you thought just about some of my questions. All right, my first question would be, how long does it take to become a physical therapist? Thanks for having me. Love to answer a few questions. Like you said, the first question, how long does it take? It can take up to 7 years. You have to go get your degrees, you have to job shadow and do all that stuff. So it can take a minute to get that degree and get through the time. So I'd say around 7 years-ish to be a full-blown physical therapist. What kind of hours do you work throughout the day? Is it a 9 to 5? Is it overnights? What kind of hours do you typically work as a PT? Hours do I work? Typically it's an 8 to 5 type deal, sometimes a 9 to 6. It's a full-time job for sure. Occasionally you have to work weekends because people have jobs and sometimes they can only get there to do their therapy on the weekend. So it can span throughout the week, and it's not always weekends. You're not going to work weekends every time, but it is definitely full-time. Okay, well, what is it that you do? What do? I do help patients. That's the biggest thing. I'm here to make plans to get them back on their feet, treatment plans. They can do stuff at home. They come in to work out with us here and try to just get them stronger and back on the road to recovery for sure. So being a physical therapist, what is helpful for the patients itself? Why is it such a big deal to have physical therapy? Benefits for the patient would be trying to get their improved strength back, their balance, things like that may have been lost through injury or some other condition, restore basic movements. Depending on what they need. Some people need to learn how to re-walk. Some people need to learn how to stand again. So there's a lot of different injuries that cause different issues that need to be fixed and try to be overcome, I guess, for sure, and just helping recovery in general. I guess a pretty important one for me is how much money do you make being a physical therapist? Oh, my favorite question, how much do you make? It can vary. You can make up to $100,000. It's pretty good living depending on where you work, how much experience you have, how long you've been doing it. There's places where you don't make as much, in South Dakota or some of these other states where you just don't, the money's not there, but the cost of living is lower. So it all depends on what you want to do and where you're at. So you make a pretty good living working as a physical therapist. You want to make some money, right? You spend all this time going to school and paying all these bills after school. So yeah, you got to pay off that tuition and all that stuff for sure. If I don't become a licensed physical therapist, is there another job in that field or office that I can get? Yeah, I couldn't do this by myself. There are other jobs within my office than just the physical therapist like myself. There are the physical therapy therapist assistant. They do a lot of stuff helping me. This is still pretty hands-on, not as much responsibility, but still working with patients and helping things out and stuff like that for sure. And also physical therapy aid, which is less hands-on with patients, but helping get the machines ready and just getting things set up and really helping figure things out to get started. I think those are a few, and obviously there can be receptionists and things like that, but it's a team effort. It's definitely a team effort. You can't just do it all by yourself. I appreciate my whole staff that's with me.